The air crackled with nervous energy. It was palpable, a living thing buzzing through the crowded hallways. Everywhere you looked, faces, new and unknown, reflected the same mix of trepidation and excitement. It was the first day of freshman year, and the world felt like a vast and intimidating ocean. Every corner held the promise of the unfamiliar, the unknown. The weight of possibility, exhilarating and terrifying all at once, hung heavy in the air. Today, everyone was a stranger, starting their own journeys, writing their own stories. For some, this was a fresh start, a chance to reinvent themselves, to leave behind the awkward fumbles of high school. For others, it was a continuation, another chapter in the book they were already writing. But for all, it was a step into the unknown, a leap of faith into a future yet to be written. The energy was infectious, a potent mix of hope and uncertainty, and it was impossible not to be swept up in its current. Olivia clutched her schedule, the paper crumpled and damp with nervous sweat. Her heart pounded a frantic rhythm against her ribs. She felt adrift, a tiny boat tossed about in a sea of unfamiliar faces. College. It had been a beacon of hope for so long, a shimmering promise of freedom and self-discovery. But now, standing on the precipice of it all, the reality felt daunting. Would she fit in? Would she find her people, her tribe in this overwhelming sea of faces? Doubt, a familiar companion, whispered insidious worries in her ear. She pushed it aside, forcing a deep breath. This was it. This was her chance. Olivia straightened her shoulders, a silent vow echoing in her chest. She wouldn't let fear cripple her. She would embrace the unknown, dive headfirst into this new adventure. This was her time to shine. The lecture hall was a vast cavern of knowledge, rows upon rows of desks stretching out before her. Olivia found a seat near the back, seeking solace in the anonymity it provided. The room buzzed with the hushed murmur of whispered conversations as students settled in, the air thick with anticipation. Professor Davis, a wiry man with a shock of white hair and eyes that twinkled with intelligence, strode confidently to the podium. His voice, when he spoke, was a warm baritone, commanding attention without effort. "Welcome to Philosophy 101, he began, a smile playing on his lips. "Prepare to have your minds blown." A ripple of laughter ran through the room, easing the tension that hung heavy in the air. Olivia felt a sliver of her anxiety melt away. Maybe this wouldn't be so bad after all. Maybe she could do this. Section 4. A friendly face in the crowd. As Professor Davis delved into the history of philosophical thought, Olivia became aware of the person sitting next to her. She was a girl, about Olivia's age, with a cascade of fiery red curls framing a face dotted with freckles. She was scribbling furiously in a notebook, her brow furrowed in concentration. Olivia hesitated, then gathered her courage. "Hi," she whispered, her voice barely audible above the professor's lecture. The girl looked up, startled, then a smile spread across her face, transforming it from hesitant to radiant. "Hey," she replied, her voice friendly. "I'm Chloe. You're in my dorm, right? Anderson Hall." Olivia's heart leaped. A connection already? "Yeah," she breathed, relief flooding through her. "I'm Olivia. It's nice to see a familiar face." Section 5. Finding comfort in shared anxieties. Over the next hour, as Professor Davis wove a captivating narrative of Socrates and Plato, Olivia and Chloe exchanged whispered comments and shared nervous laughter. They discovered a shared love for classic literature, a mutual disdain for early morning classes, and a common anxiety about navigating the vast unknown that was college life. "I'm freaking out about the workload," Chloe confessed, her voice a hushed whisper. "I mean, high school was one thing, but this is a whole other level." Olivia nodded in agreement. "Me too," she admitted. "I just keep telling myself it's a fresh start, a chance to reinvent myself. But what if I mess it up?" Chloe grinned, her eyes sparkling with empathy. "We're all in the same boat, right?" she said, her tone reassuring. "We just have to ride the wave and see where it takes us." Section 6. Anticipating the next encounter. As the lecture drew to a close, Olivia felt a pang of regret. She had actually enjoyed herself, the gnawing anxiety of earlier replaced by a burgeoning sense of hope. Maybe this wouldn't be so bad after all. Maybe. Just maybe she had found a friend, a kindred spirit in this overwhelming sea of faces. "Hey," Chloe said, slinging her backpack over her shoulder. "Want to grab coffee before our next class?" Olivia's smile widened. "I'd love to," she replied, her voice filled with genuine enthusiasm. As they walked out of the lecture hall together, the hallway no longer seemed as intimidating, the sea of faces not as overwhelming. She had found a boy in the storm, a friendly face in the crowd. And as she glanced over at Chloe, her laughter echoing in the hallway, Olivia couldn't wait to see where this new friendship would take them.